Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. I'm so excited for this video today because the card that I'm going to make for you is part of the Stampin' for Autism blog hop that I am taking part of. And in my post for this, I have a link where you can donate to the Organization for Autism Research. Please go to my blog at barbstamps.com and donate if you can. I would really appreciate it. All right, so my card today is made with the Grown with Love bundle, and this is a bundle in the annual catalog right now that will be retiring at the end of May. So the bundle includes the Grown with Love stamp set along with the Garden Grown framelits. And you'll see that one of the images has a coordinating framelit to cut out this adorable wagon. We've got an image for the watering can and the flowers, and then you can actually cut out some more, like the flowers and the leaves have their own dies also, which is really fun. We've got the kind of ceramic pot that the flowers can go in. We've got these flowers here. I'm not sure, are they tulips? I don't really know flowers that well. But again, you've got the main image that gets die cut plus some added little bonus flowers that you can crop out. And then this image here, this super cute vegetable image, also has its own die along with this really cute little heart stake that I think is just adorable. So the set is super cute, and I hope you enjoy my card today. All right, let's get some papers out here and we'll talk some measurements. We've got our 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base, kind of standard. We've got our 3 3/4 by 5, which is going to be the inside panel. So I'm going to just go ahead and fold this right now. And then we will do some scoring on it in a second. Get my bone folder out here. And actually, I don't even need a trimmer. You could use a trimmer if you want, but I'm just going to roll this back to the edge. God, excuse my hair. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. And we're going to just do that. Okay, so we've got our card. So basically, you could score that at 2 1/8 inches. So you've got it scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8, and you're going to fold it back to make kind of a Z fold. So 3 3/4 by 5 is going to go on the inside panel. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 is going to go on the outside, so that it's going to hide that little panel on the inside until the person actually opens it up, and then they'll see it. I've got a 3 by 5 piece of Designer Series paper. Isn't that fun? And this comes out of our Birthday Memories Designer Series paper package. And look at these fun patterns. We've got some polka dots, this yellow paper that we're going to use today, and then these images in the paper can actually be trimmed out and used for your project. So we've got the dogs, we've got some balloons, we've got some party items. Look at that adorable little girl. And this paper does have matching dies also. So I'm using this dog paper because the back of it is yellow. And of course, our theme for autism is red, blue, and yellow. So that's what we're going to kind of keep with that theme. So I've got this piece that I've got. I've got a real red circle, and this is our largest scalloped circle in the Layering Circles framelits. I've also got the largest stitched shape circle from the Stitched Shapes framelit set. So we've got both of these, and then I've got another piece of 3-inch wide Dapper Denim cardstock that I'm going to put behind this yellow layer, and then I've got some scraps of white that we're going to use to build our wagon. So I think we're going to go ahead and build the wagon first. So you can see I've already gone ahead and stamped a wagon in black and then cropped it out with the coordinating die. So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to stamp the wagon again in real red. Here's my stamp. Quickly bring in a scrap paper here so I don't mess up my grid. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp in the real red, and all I really need is the main I don't even know what you'd call that, the bucket, but not really a bucket, of the wagon. So if I don't get the whole thing on the paper, it's totally fine because I don't need it anyway. All right, so now you could trim this out with scissors, this little red part here, but I want it to be perfect. I want it to match the black wagon with the edges and everything, so I am actually going to die cut this. And so here's my die, so I'm going to run this through my Big Shot, and I will be right back. Okay, so here's my little wagon piece. Get rid of these scraps here. And then I'm just going to take a pair of paper snips, and I'm going to very carefully cut underneath the wagon, just barely getting off the red parts. Like so. Okay. So we've got our black wagon and our red wagon, and I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of glue to the black wagon here. And then add the red I don't know what this is called. I mean, I'm sure I know, but I can't remember. It's been a long time since I used a little red wagon. Even my kids are too old for a little red wagon. Okay, so there's our adorable little wagon. We're going to set that aside. And for the inside of our card, I kind of thought it would be fun to add a little detail down the side. So I'm going to try to use the bottom of this ceramic pot, and we'll see what happens. Again, I'll bring in some scrap paper, and I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to ink up just the very edge. I just really like this pattern at the bottom. I think it's kind of fun. So let's just sort of see what happens here. Stamp a wagon at the bottom here. So I'm going to kind of have an offset wagon down here at the bottom. Not a complete wagon. Let me get up my Memento Black. So we want most of the wagon, but not all of it. About like so. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp another one of these on a scrap with the red and die cut that out so I can add it to the top. All right, so I've cropped it out, stamped it, cropped it, and went ahead and trimmed it off. So now I'm just going to add this over the top of this wagon here. And then I'll just snip off the edge here. Fun. Okay, so this piece is going to go on the inside. All right, this is actually the smaller piece, which is the 3 3/4 by 5 that's going on the inside here. And I like to just line it up on 3 sides. Okay. I think that's kind of fun, just that pattern showing through. No one really knows what it is, which is totally fine. Okay, and then our 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece is going to go on the front here. So we're going to go ahead and trim our piece of Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to trim straight up the middle, like so. And actually, I'm going to bring some bigger scissors in. And then I'm going to come in from the point of the paper to the spot where I ended my cut there, like so. And I'm going to do that again from this side. Okay. And then I'm going to glue it to this piece of Dapper Denim here. This little piece that's like 3 inches. Oh, it doesn't even matter how big it is. It's probably 3 by 2 maybe. Okay, got that. Got a little excess here, which is no problem. We're just going to trim that off. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to snip up the center here, getting close but not completely touching the Designer Series paper. And then we're going to trim off the corners just like we did before. Try to make it straight, like so. Okay, trim that off, and that's going to go on here, but not before we add some Designer Series or some Baker's Twine. So I've got some of our Dapper Denim Baker's Twine, and Dapper Denim is a color that's going to retire at the end of May. So if you do have Dapper Denim ink pads, I highly recommend getting your ink refills and your cardstock if you want to continue using it. So we're just going to cut 2 strips of Baker's Twine here, and I'm going to wrap them around a Stampin' Mist bottle, and we're just going to tie them in a bow. Just like I'm tying some shoes here. Like so. I'm going to pull it off the bottle. Oops. And then we're going to kind of manipulate this a little bit so that the loops are as big as I want them. It's a little bit too big the way they ended up. You know, so I'm just holding onto the knot. If I hold onto the knot when I'm doing my manipulation, it keeps the bow nice and flat. Okay, so then I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. I want the knot to go right there, and so I'm just gonna trim off about like so. And then we're just gonna wrap this around the card and secure it with some Scotch tape. that I just happen to have here on my desk, nice and handy. About like so. Okay, and then we'll trim these tails off. They're a little long for my taste. Okay, and that's going to get glued on that, so we'll go ahead and do that. Add our liquid glue. Okay, and then we've got our two pieces here, and we're going to stamp a sentiment on this one. And I've got the sentiment from the Special Celebrations. This is a duo stamp set, and I'm going to use the Happy Birthday greeting here. It's a fun one. It's got all kinds of celebratory greetings for weddings and babies and all that good stuff. So we'll just stamp our Happy Birthday up here on our stitched circle. And then we're going to add the wagon with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's see, I've got some tiny ones here. Where's my big ones? All right, here we go. We need a couple for the wheels. And then I think I'm going to use some of our tiny ones for the wagon top here, just because the wagon is a little smaller. Press your fingernail into those. Peel off the backings. And then we're just going to add that wagon right here underneath our sentiment. There. Glue this to our scallop, and there's just going to be a tiny bit of the red showing, which is perfect. I just want a little tiny accent showing in the back there. Add a few more dimensionals. I'm going to put some on the circle here. Okay, oops, peel that off, and then we're going to bring in our banner layer here and move our tails, and then this is going to go about like so. Okay, so now our last step is going to be to attach this to the front here, but you only want glue around this, about this much of the project. So I'm going to go ahead and actually add my glue to this flap, and that way I won't go over. So I've just got a little bit of glue there, and then I'm going to bring this layer in and center that, and that way I don't have too much glue, so I won't have any glue on the inside of my card, which I don't want. Okay, and then you can actually close it up to press that into place. Open it up, and there it is. Isn't that just adorable? I just think that's so cute. And I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you have a moment, please head over to my blog at barbstamps.com. And if you can make a donation, I would really, really appreciate it. It's the Organization for Autism Research, and we're trying to just raise a bunch of money for them with this blog hop. So I appreciate it very much. I hope you all have a wonderful day.